Friends, it is still the stewardship season, and as we continue in that and toward that, we continue with our moments for stewardship. Allison Milam, please come and share a word.
Good morning. When Kathleen Dunlop asked me to speak to you all about what drew us to Hitchcock Church, I recalled a really happy time in our lives when we had first moved to Scarsdale from London. And our first friends that told us about Hitchcock, they're actually Catholics, but they did say that we had to join Hitchcock because we had to hear Pastor Pete speak every week. And I honestly believe that if Catholic guilt wasn't so strong, that they'd be sitting in these pews right now. And they were totally right. It has been lovely listening to him every Sunday. So then after that recommendation, we really started researching the church a bit more, and I was particularly moved by the motto of we come to be in the presence of God so that we can be the presence of God in the world around us. And it really spoke to me that a church would put serving the community so much at the forefront of everything that they're doing, and it was such a nice thing, and it made me feel like that could really be our spiritual home here in Scarsdale. But then, December 2017, another incident that really solidified it for us was we were living on a small dead-end street that no one would go down unless you lived there. And at about 9 p.m. on like a cold winter night, I heard this big ruckus outside. And I looked out the window, and there were these 3 shadowy figures like installing this 6-foot-tall reindeer thing in our neighbor's yard. And our neighbors were Saskia and Fernando de Villa. So first I knew that they were not at home that night, and I also knew that she would never allow anyone to put that in her yard. So I called her. She had no idea what was going on either, but she was like, "Don't worry, don't call the police, it's fine. I'm sure it's something." And then the next day, she told me she'd figured it out, and it was our very own John King leading like a merry band of marauders who had done that previously. It's kind of a little Hitchcock tradition to install this in 1 or 2 families each year. So I just knew that any church that like celebrated the whimsy and the joy of the season, that just felt like the right place for us. So since then, we've really been so blessed to be surrounded by so many people that share our values of service and kindness. I mean, I still remember the first few times we came to service and Hay Park always said hello, and she remembered my name, which is like expert level ushering. I think that's outstanding levels. And and then Margaret Black and Douglas Ryder, they would always reach out to us periodically over the years. And then actually recently when I just had our youngest, I had mentioned to Rylan Carter that I was struggling a bit with nursing this time, and she had a newborn of her own, and she dropped everything to come help me figure out how to move forward with it using her medical degree. And it was just those little acts of service have made me feel so very blessed to be a part of this community. And I also think it's a big blessing that I didn't call the cops on John, because that would make these Sundays a little awkward. But it's been just such a joy of my life to be part of this community. And that's it. Thank you all.